guys ready for a new day of work? Yes, we are ready. So let's start.
7 truths about me. 1. I am a child of God. 2. I am loved. 3. I am accepted. 4. I am forgiven. 5. I am smart. 6. I am strong. 7. I am blessed.
Okay, now that we have talked about these things, are you ready to start? Yes, we are ready. So let's go. Okay, kids, so on the page 8 and 9, we have a story, and we're going to watch the video of the story, okay? Are you ready?
Miss Flowerpot.
It's a great morning. Mr. Evans always goes for a walk on his farm in the morning. Today, the blackbirds are eating his cereals again.
Go away, birds! Shoo! You always eat my plants! Mr. Smith has a scarecrow. The birds never eat his plants.
He sees Lucy. She's throwing her old table tennis paddles in the trash can. Mr. Evans has an idea.
Ooh! Can I have those, Lucy?
Yes, of course. Do you play table tennis?
No. I never play table tennis.
Then Mr. Evans sees Mrs. Potter. She's putting her old golf clubs in the recycling bin.
Hello. Do you play golf, Mrs. Potter?
Yes, I sometimes play golf on weekends. But my clubs are broken.
Perfect.
Mr. Evans sees his friend Archie. Archie exercises a lot.
Hey, Archie. Do you play tennis?
No, I don't. But I often play badminton after work.
Do you have an old racket?
Yes, I do.
Billy is Mr. Evans's grandson. He's getting very tall. These karate clothes are too small for you, Billy.
Karate clothes. Can I have them?
Yes. Here you are.
Now Mr. Evans has everything he needs. He's working in his barn.
That's perfect.
What's going on in Mr. Evans's field? What's everybody looking at?
That's my old table tennis paddle. And those are my old karate clothes.
Those are my old golf clubs.
And that's my old badminton racket.
Mr. Evans is very happy. Today, the blackbirds aren't eating his cereals.
Meet Miss Flowerpot. My new scarecrow.
Okay, kids, do you like this story? Now we have to answer some question. How many characters are in the story? Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? Okay, kids, so in the activity number 2, we have listen and read along. Write the sports that characters do, okay? In this case, we already have seen the story in the video, so now we have to answer, okay? So, Archie, what does sport does he do? Remember? He did badminton. Yes, that's good. Billy, he do karate. Yes. And Mrs. Porter did golf. Okay. So let's check if we're correct. Yes, we're correct. Okay. So now we can go to the next exercise. Okay. It's on the next page. Okay, so in this activity, we have to look at the page 8 to 9, and we have to circle the speaker, okay? Number 1, we have the example. Do you play golf? Who asked? In this case, it was Mr. Evans, okay? Yes, I sometimes play golf on weekends. Who said that? It was Mrs. Porter, okay? Number 2, do you play tennis? Who asked? Mr. Evans or Mrs. Porter? It was Mr. Evans. Okay, and the answer is no, I don't, but I often play badminton after work. Who answered? Okay, in this case, it was Archie, his friend. Number 3, do you play table tennis? Who asked? Mr. Evan. In this case, Mr. Evan was asking everyone if they're doing a certain sport, okay? And this says, no, I never play table tennis. Number 3, do you play table tennis? In this case, who was it? It was Mr. Evan or it was Lucy? In this case, it was Lucy, okay? No, I never played table tennis. Who was it? Mr. Porter or Mr. Evans? It was Mr. Evans, okay? So let's check if we're correct. Yes, we're correct. Give me 5. Okay. Next activity. It says, listen and number the people in the chart. Okay, do you remember this adverbs of frequency? Okay, so we have like a pie or quarters, okay? Always, often, the half, sometimes 1/4, and never it's none of them, okay? So it says, listen and number the people in the chart.
Track 11. 1,
Do you play hockey?
Yes, I sometimes play hockey after work.
Do you go ice skating?
No, I never go ice skating.
2,
Do you play badminton?
Yes, I always play badminton on Tuesdays.
Do you go ice skating?
Yes, I sometimes go ice skating in the evening.
3,
Do you play hockey?
No, I never play hockey.
Do you do archery?
Yes, I often do archery after work.
4,
Do you do archery?
Yes, I always do archery on Saturdays. I often play badminton on the weekend too.
Okay, so number 1, it was Mr. Porter because he says that he played hockey after work, okay? Number 2, who was it? It says, let's listen again. And
Track
we can do
11.
It.
1,
Pause it and see the
Do you
answers.
play hockey?
Yes, I sometimes play hockey after work.
Okay,
Do you
yes.
go ice skating?
No, I never go ice skating.
No. Okay, so you can see in this case, we talk about after work, the hockey, and never go ice skating, okay? So it has 2 options of these 4. In this case, None of them, except Mr. Porter, has after work in hockey. It has on Sundays, none and none. Okay? Number 2, let's do it.
2.
Do you play badminton?
Yes, I always play badminton on Tuesdays.
Do you go ice skating?
Yes, I sometimes go ice skating in the evening.
Okay, so in this case, badminton, the only has always on Tuesday, it was Mrs. Porter, okay? And it says that she ice skating in the evening, so it has two. This one has on weekend, Mr. Porter doesn't have, and in this case, it's always in the evening, okay? But it's sometimes, okay? So in this case, this is number 2, okay? Next.
3.
Do you play hockey?
No, I never play hockey.
Hockey, no.
Do you do
Okay.
archery?
Yes, I often do archery after work.
Okay, after work.
4.
In this case, is Mr. Evans because he says that he never do hockey, and he used to do after work often the archery. Okay, so in this case, number 3 is Mr. Evans, and the 4th, but we're gonna listen it anyway.
Do you do archery?
Yes, I always do archery on Saturdays. I often play badminton on the weekend too.
Okay, so she does badminton. Okay, and is Lucy, number 4. Okay, so let's go to the next activity. Okay, so it says, look at the chart in activity 2 and complete the answers, okay? The chart, it was with Lucy, Mrs. Porter, and Mr. Porter, and Mr. Evans, okay? So number 1, it says, do you play badminton, Mr. Evans? Yes, I sometimes play badminton on Fridays, okay? So you have to complete, in this case, the charts. Do you go ice skating, Lucy? Yes, and you have to put always, often, sometimes, and the sport, and it's on the weekend. You have to specify when you do that, okay? I'm gonna give you 5 seconds. I'm gonna put a few moments, okay? A few seconds. Okay, so number 2, do you go ice skating, Lucy? Yes, I always go ice skating, as I say. And then the adverb of frequency, the verb go, and then ice skating on the weekend. So you are saying, when do you do that sport, okay? Number 3, do you do archery, Mr. Porter? No, I never do archery. Okay, so if you never do archery, you don't have to specify when do you do it, okay? And number 4, do you play field hockey, Mr. Porter? Yes, I often play field hockey on Sundays, okay? And that will be all for this activity.